Instagram Live. Hi, it's Karen. How are you? Good morning. I thought I would read a reading March. March was a long freaking month for sure. So let's go to May. Let's see if May is going to be better. Courage to Change, May 27th. I'm going to read this and we'll talk about it a little bit. There have been days when many of us felt that good times would never come again. Boy, does this seem appropriate, huh? After so many disappointments, it seemed too painful to continue hope. We shut our hearts and minds to our dreams and stopped expecting to find happiness. We weren't happy, but at least we couldn't be let down anymore. Caring, hoping, wanting, these are risky. But as we recover from the effects of alcoholism, we may find that risks are worth taking. In time, it may not be enough to simply avoid disappointment. We want more. We want rich, full, exciting lives with joy as well as sorrow. Just finding the willingness to believe that joy can exist in our lives today can be very challenging. But until we make room in our hearts for good times, we may not recognize them when they arrive. Nobody is happy all the time, but all of us are capable of feeling good. We deserve to allow ourselves to experience every bit of joy life has to offer. Today's reminder, I will not let fear of disappointment prevent me from enjoying this day. I have a great capacity for happiness. I want to grow in my willingness to make room in my life for good times, having faith in their arrival and patience in my anticipation. So this is a good reading. That first line really got me. There have been days when many of us felt that good times would never come again. You know, I understand that. And I know that a lot of people are feeling that right now. I get a lot of communication from people that are in love with alcoholics and addicts or have children that are alcoholics and addicts. And it just seems impossible, like things are never going to change. It feels that way when you're drinking too. I remember when I was actually drinking and I was in the mire of it. And if you're an alcoholic, you know what I mean by the mire of it. God, my hair's driving me crazy. Sorry. Wish I didn't have to look at myself when I did this. Just look at you guys. But I remember being up all night and not being able to sleep. Having fear just run. They call it the 4 horsemen, right? Fear, bewilderment, it's crazy what happens in your mind, and it's terrifying, and it feels like it's never going to change. I was in so much debt and so much financial demise. There was no way I was ever going to get out of it. I mean, I remember I finally just took Glad garbage bags, and I just get the mail out of the mailbox and put it in the Glad garbage bag. I mean, I just didn't even open it. I couldn't even fathom. And I was drinking, and this was before I lost the house and the cars and everything, right? It was on my slide down. And it just felt like nothing was going to change. You know what I mean? It just feels so bad when you're in it. And same thing when you love someone that's an alcoholic and addict. It feels so bad. This is never going to change. There is no possible way out of this. They are never going to make it. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, if you live in man's world, I call it man's world, in this earthly plane that we live in, the plane of reason, right? Science and reason. It's terrifying. But if you live in the world of spirituality, you know, a little bit of faith, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about spirituality, believing in a power greater than yourself. You know what I mean? Is it possible? And I know that if you really sat down and thought about it today, put out the terror of what's happening in your life, put that aside for a minute and sit down and be quiet and think about all the times in your life that things have worked out and you don't know how. You don't know how. I heard this girl talking the other day, and it was the interesting story because she said her daughter had borrowed her credit card, right? She gave her daughter the credit card. They were going to order something online. The daughter's a teenager, so the daughter went to the computer and charged something on the credit card and by the time she got the credit card back, I don't know what happened, but the woman went to use her credit card. You know, they're stuck at home. They haven't been anywhere. And she pulled out the credit card and going to go to the grocery store or something, and the credit card was gone. And they looked everywhere. The daughter took apart the wallet. She was sure she put it in there. They didn't leave the house, right? She was looking for the credit card, pulled the whole, daughter took everything out of the wallet, organized it, cleaned it out, put everything back, right? They searched the couch cushions, the walk between the couch cushions and the mom in the kitchen and the wallet. Could not find this credit card. It was terrible. And she didn't want to cancel it because it was got to be in the house, right? And the next day, she went to her wallet, opened up her wallet, and there was her credit card. Now, I don't know why. I've had things like that happen to me. Maybe it's because I'm searching so frantically for the credit card that I can't find it. It's right there in front of me and I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know why those things happen. I'm just glad I found my credit card. There's a lot of unexplainable things that happen. We are not in charge. God is in charge. So you got to have some faith. You don't know what's going to happen. I have seen parents whose kids have been living on the streets, homeless. The parent has written them off for dead, right? There's no way coming back from this. And they've gotten sober. Somehow they've wandered into a homeless shelter and somebody said something, it made sense to them, and they started going through a free program, and then they started working at the homeless shelter. This is a true story. And now they're employed, they've got a job, they've got an apartment, they have a motorcycle, right? AA, NA, sober. No help from the mom, right? The higher power took over. And so I like the idea that, having some hope, but you can't have hope in yourself because you got no power. Right? You got to have some kind of higher power. You got to believe in the universe. You got to believe in the world. Something is going to happen, right? I remember I had a loved one that was really, really sick, and I was desperate to get her help, right? And we were going to send her to this treatment center. It wasn't for alcoholism or drug addiction. It was for something else. We found a place that was going to help her. And I was like, well, this is ridiculous because she doesn't want help. There's no way this is going to work. And my friend told me, well, maybe you don't know if it's the therapist, the psychiatrist, the nurse, who's going to say something to her, another patient. Maybe it's going to be the woman that comes in and changes the trash in her room. Might say something to her that changes her life and shifts her whole perception. You don't know, Karen. Get out of the way. Let things happen. Don't dictate to life. Let life dictate to you. Just relax. Let's see what's going to happen here, right? Give it a rest for a minute. Just relax. And now that's really hard when you are in crisis. And I got a lot of people right now that I've contacted that are watching me right now that are in crisis. And I know it's hard, but you have to get back in your hula hoop. You have to get back in your little circle and say, okay, what can I do? Before I can help anyone else, I have to put the mask on myself. Just like they say in the airplane. I know this is an old saying, but it sure fits, right? You got to put the oxygen on yourself. They tell you that before you put it on your kids. You can't help anybody if you're running around Mach 5 hair on fire. You got to calm down. You got to trust the process, right? Give everybody a break for a minute. Ask for help. Direct my thinking, whatever's out there in the universe, right? I'm sitting outside right now. I see birds, hummingbirds. There's lots of hummingbird nests right now. There's lots of things going on in this yard, right? There's butterflies flying around. It's beautiful. It's like an Audubon society here. There's birds and there's nests and there's everything's going on. And it has nothing to do with me. I have absolutely no control over any of it, nor do I want it. I'm enjoying it. I'm watching it. I'm watching the show. I'm not the show. There's something that happens when you can get that shift. Step off the stage of your life and watch it. What's happening in your life? What's going on right now? Do you have any control over any of it? The only thing you have control over is yourself. Your response. And sometimes the best response is no response. Relax and take it easy. Don't struggle. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't. I know you think you do, but you don't. Just wait a minute. Sometimes when you wait a minute, something happens. The credit card magically appears. Have a great day, everybody. I love you to pieces. Let me know what you need. That's what I'm here for.